If you're a writer, I'm going to tell you how to make your story more interesting by making your character suck more. Because characters with clear weaknesses are more interesting. And if your character is more interesting, then your story is going to be more interesting. And there's an obvious way of looking at this and like a less obvious way, and the less obvious way is the more interesting of the two. But the obvious way is like whatever your story is about, like whatever the plot is, in order for your character to achieve their main objective, they have to overcome a weakness. Like an example is the Karate Kid, right? Like the Karate Kid has to learn karate so that he can stand up to Cobra Kai. That is what the story is about. But the less obvious example is like to give your character, we'll call it like an emotional weakness, something that's not necessarily directly tied to them achieving the main objective of the story, but is something they still need to overcome along the way. An example I'll give for that is like God of War, the video game. And what God of War is about a Greek god, which is physically hard to give a weakness to. And this Greek god has to take a package and deliver it to the top of a mountain. It's essentially what it's about. He needs to fight the bad guys along the way to get there. The catch is he has to bring his 10-year-old son with him on this journey. And so the weakness of this Greek god is the fact that he doesn't have the emotional availability to connect with his son, which is something he desperately wants to do. He wants nothing more than to connect with his son, but he doesn't know how. And because the developers of the game decided to give this Greek god this emotional weakness, it made him so much more interesting, and as a result made the story that much more interesting. If you want to make your story more interesting, give your characters a clear weakness. And really, I guess what this boils down to is the fact that character is more important than plot.